Hi, good morning, and welcome to today's edition of the Focus Africa series. My name is Success Bright, your popular host, and I want to say a special thank you to Business Day Media, as usual, for providing us this platform to reach out to all our viewers from across Africa. We are glad we have this platform. Thank you so much, Business Day, and all the crew at Business Day. I appreciate you guys. Today on Focus Africa series, we'll be discussing something very, very important with an important guest. Last week, we looked at real estate evolution in Nigeria and how it affects Africa. My guest on that show was Mr. Larry Howells, the CEO of Beyond Building Investment. And later in the afternoon, I had another chat with Mr. Daniel Nang from Ghana on youth role and involvement in Africa. So today, as a follow-up to what we discussed last week, I promised I was going to bring another guest from that industry to talk more on real estate, the challenges, the way forward, the achievements, the milestones so far. And today, promise kept, I have in the building Mr. Titio Phillips Jr. Mr. Titio, how are you today?
I'm very fine, Success. Thanks for having me on today's show. It's a great privilege to be talking to you and the folks at Business Day. I'm looking forward to an exciting interview session. Thank you once again.
We're glad that you're able to make it on a short notice to this program today. And we'll be looking at technology-driven real estate business in Africa, how the players are changing the narratives. Are you ready, sir? Are you with me, sir? Are you with me? Can you hear me, sir? Okay, since that Mr. Phillips is having some challenges with his connections, so we'll have to wait a bit to get him on board. Okay, you can remove your headset. Okay, you're good now. You can hear me.
Okay.
All right. So I said that today we'll be looking at technology-driven real estate business in Africa, how the players are changing the narratives. A lot has happened in industry, especially in the last 5 years. There's been a lot of revolution. There's been a lot of progress made, a lot of milestones. We have more smart houses, artificial intelligent houses, that have the feature of Bitcoin features, and a whole lot are coming up when it comes to our housing project in Nigeria, in Africa. So today we'll be looking at how you players are changing this narrative, because you guys brought things that we're seeing today into the industry, and it's changing a whole lot. So just before we go right into the discussion, I'd like to introduce my guest. Mr. Philip is a serial entrepreneur, passionate about empowering people, businesses, and lives to be significant. He is the CEO of Mad Phillips Development Company with entrepreneurial career spanning over 15 years, cutting across different industries, including information technology, telecommunications, fashion, consulting, and real estate. He is the founder of Nigerpreneur.com, Nigeria's foremost entrepreneurship and business development blog, and Differentiate Online, a 360 digital marketing solution for Nigerian businesses. Now, driven by the passion to eradicate unemployment in Nigeria, he co-founded Asuko.com, an online marketplace to buy and sell professional services in Nigeria. Mr. Philip is a versatile strategist and a digital marketing maven who has masterminded the online marketing of top brands like Lekki Free Zone, Jumia Nigeria, Enosin Motors, Sheriff Deputies, Link Doors, Lucy, and Front Page. Mr. Philip is a prolific writer and a World Bank certified trainer. He is a graduate of business administration from University of Lagos, UNILAG. His foray into real estate is driven by a passion to help Nigerians become landlords wherever they can afford. The first time I saw Mr. Phillips personally, I looked at his profile and I looked at him. I challenged myself and said I could have such profile, be able to make impact in people's life. And I'm glad it turned out to become my friend. And today we have in the studio to discuss this important topic. And not just, we're going to get into one or two things he does and how he's making impact across the continent. So, Mr. Philip, I'd like to ask you, in your own words, how can you describe yourself apart from the profile that we just read?
Okay. Thank you, Success. In one word, mad is the best way to just summarize my person. Making a difference. That's my own interpretation of the word mad, M-A-D. So everything I do, it's all about making a difference. I want to make a difference in the lives of people. I want to make a difference in the lives of businesses. I want to make a difference in the world generally. So this is my passion. This is what drives me. This is the basis of my existence as a person. So if you need one word to just describe me, just say mad. If you meet me, before you do anything for me, I would have first done something for you. So because I'm always about touching you first before I ask for anything in return. So making a difference is the word to summarize the whole of my person. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship and I'm passionate about solving problems for people in order to impact their lives significantly. So mad is who I am. I make a difference.
As someone who has been very active in the information technology sector, telecommunication and stuff, how would you say that digitalization waves have really impacted us with the evolution of the industry, the real estate industry in Nigeria?
Okay. Prior to my entrance into the real estate industry, I have a tech background. Okay, I started out in the IT sector. So my tech background is what has enabled me to leverage on technology in driving my real estate business. Okay, so I have a background in website development, in computer engineering, in networking, and digital marketing. So I have a very strong tech background. So when I was going into real estate, I wanted to use technology as the backbone to make affordable real estate services, affordable real estate properties and land for people. So there was no way I was going to be doing that without falling back to my technological background. So from the very get-go, we put in technology into our framework and our system. We didn't just rely on the offline marketing initiatives. We brought all of the things we're doing to the internet. We brought it online, and we have been using digital sales to drive most of our selling and marketing strategies. So beyond that too, we are adopting the mobile app technology so that people can make the process of payment easy. One of our initiatives is the Land 48 initiative that allows you to own a land in 48 weeks. Okay, so we know that through this initiative, people will be making weekly payments or making monthly payments. So to make that process of payment easy for them without having to run around and pursue people, we have to develop a mobile app. It's currently in the works. We would have launched it this year if not for the COVID-19 outbreak. So we're planning to launch in the first quarter of next year or middle of next year, worst case scenario. So that app is going to enable people to select locations that they want to buy landed properties, and it's also going to enable them to make payment effortlessly by just entering their ATM cards, and the payments will be deducted on specific intervals. If it's weekly, it will be deducted on a weekly basis. If it's monthly, it will be deducted on a monthly basis. So these are different ways in which we're trying to leverage on technology to sell and drive real estate in Nigeria. So that's one of our own unique approaches you get. So besides using technology to get our customers, we're also using technology to fulfill the services that our customers require from us. So technology for us is for driving sales. Technology is also powering the fulfillment of the services that we are offering to our customers. So basically, technology is how we drive and sell real estate at Oga Landlord. If you visit our website, the whole of our packages are listed there. The payment plans are also broken down.
All right.
You get, so we are very, very heavy on the use of technology in acquiring customers and in delivering the services that we promise to these customers.
Okay, Mr. Philip, I wanted to ask, I live in a smart house, and I've visited quite a number of smart houses, and I've seen smart offices, with AI features, built to respond to people who live there or who works there and all that. So you're talking about your dog responding to your voice, your light responding to a click on your phone and stuff like that. I want to ask, how prepared do you think Nigerians are for this smart house project? How many people can afford it at the moment? What are players like you doing to make sure that a lot more people get to know and get to use or live in these smart houses?
Okay, regarding the idea of the smart houses, smart homes, like it's popularly being called, it's a new initiative. It's a new idea within the tech ecosystem. In the high-end customers are the ones that are currently adopting into this idea, whereby everything within the house is interconnected using the Internet of Things that is currently being propounded in the world today. So a lot of the people at the upper end of the market are the ones that would readily connect with this ideal. Okay, it's not for the lower end of the market or even at the medium end of the market, because to put together a smart home, you will need solar panels. To put together a smart home, you will need an inverter system. Okay, so all of these costs are not something that easily affordable by the average Nigerian. These are people that have this extra money to spare. So the people that are adopting it currently are the people that are at the upper end of the market. So it's a welcome initiative, but for majority of Nigerians, it's something that is not going to cash on as quickly as possible until the prices begins to drop to enable the lower end and the medium customers to start buying into it. So the idea is very, very noble, and the idea is very, very welcome because it helps to save the environment. Smart homes run on alternative power supply. So our generator and our electricity can be something that will be less consumed using the smart technologies of solar panel and inverter. Okay, but these things are quite expensive at the moment. So this is going to raise the price of those kind of real estate properties. It's going to raise the price of those type of homes. So when you might be buying a normal house, say a two-bedroom house, say you might be buying it for probably 15 to 16 million. By the time you integrate all of these smart options into it, the price of that house could be going as high as 20 or 2 million naira. So these are factors that is making the buying in from customers to be a little bit slower than what we have already been expecting. So it's a welcome idea, like I said, but it's something that is going to take a while before customers begin to buy into it fully.
Okay, Mr. Philip, there's a projection.
Yeah.
That the smart home market has been on the fast lane growing in the past 5 years. And the projection says that in the next 5 years, the economy we have currently will be tripled globally. Now, we look at China, for instance. The market is expected to advance from 1.2 billion US dollars to 13 billion US dollars by the year 2021. And right now, Europe's market is expected to be at 19 billion US dollar in 2021. Now, another part of this projection says that Nigeria, there is every indication that Nigeria's growth rate is well ahead of US and UK. Are you trying to say that we are getting this amount of value from just high net worth individuals alone? Do you have support from the banks as a player or from the government? How have you been able to achieve this progress in the real estate sector?
Okay. Your question during the course of hearing you, it was breaking. So can you just help me summarize what you just asked again? I didn't get all of the questions.
In the last 5 years, the real estate business has been on the fast lane, growing tremendously. And we've seen a projection where in the next 3 years, as in 2021, there is going to be triple value. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you, but it's buffering. Once you start talking, it freezes. Yeah.
All right. Let's try again. In the last 5 years, the real estate business has really been on the fast lane.
I got that.
Very fast. And the projection that in the next 3 years, get to 2021, 2022, we're going to triple the values that comes in as in the growth rate. Now, the statistics shows that China, for instance, is expected to advance from 1.2 billion US dollar to 13 billion US dollar by 2021. And Nigeria is not doing badly in the midst. In fact, Nigerian growth rate is said to be ahead of US and the UK. As an industry player, are you guys getting support from the government or from the banks to be where you are to be? And are you also planning?
Whether we are getting support from the government
and create or the banks? Are you getting support from any of the banks or government at the moment to develop the sector?
Wow.
Okay, are you using your head?
You're asking if as an industry player, if we're getting support from the government. Is that what you are?
Or from the bank? Yes, of the banks. How are you guys playing?
Or
in
from
the
the bank, or from the bank, from the financial institution. Yeah.
Yes, or from government.
At the moment, we're not getting despite all this fast growth that you identify and referencing in China, we're not getting any support from the bank at the moment. Because you know how the Nigerian financial system works. Majority of the time, before you can attract those kind of support you want from them, they will be asking you for massive collateral. In our own case, they usually ask for the CFO of particular landed properties that we have in our possession. So they ask for the CFO, they ask for either government, governor's consent, or a decision from the government. And the cost it takes to get all of these things for we that are just starting up in the industry, these are very high costs for us. So we are not working with financial institutions at the moment. We are basically targeting individual investors to help us raise funds when we need to do projects. I hope my answer is on point, because I'm still missing out on a couple of your questions. It's raining over here, so the network is breaking. I don't know what's happening over your end, but it's raining heavily over here, and the network is just buffering.
Okay. Okay, so I can hear you clearly, and my network is good. I don't know. Can we take it again? Can you hear me now?
Did you get my answer?
Absolutely, absolutely. I can hear you very well. Can you hear me now?
You're buffering. I'm not hearing you clearly at all.
Okay. So I'm having a challenge.
Let me. Yeah. It's very, very hard.
All right.
Very, very hard. Yeah,
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Okay, we good?
Yeah. I think it's a little bit better. Just switched line. I think it's fair. Yes.
Okay, beautiful. I was asking, how are you able to drive this digitalization, this progress we are seeing in the real estate industry? How are you guys actually driving this?
Are we driving the progress, or how are we taking advantage of the progress?
Both. How are you driving
how do
this?
How do we plan to take advantage of the? Yeah.
See, if you don't have the needed support from both the financial institution and the government, how are you players driving? How are you players driving the growth we are seeing in the real estate industry?
Okay. All right. I'm going to speak for myself. I know a couple of other industry players are sourcing for funds from various other means. Some of them could be getting funding from these financial institutions you talked about. Some of them could be, I don't think there's any open funds from government yet, but all these commercial institutions like the banks, a couple of them might be getting funding from there. But I'm going to speak for myself. For us, at the moment, we are working with private investors. Private investors are the ones that are helping us in terms of funding to roll out a couple of our projects. So we have some internal private investors that we're working with. We have not started talking to the financial institutions because of their stringent criteria for funding. Okay, so but there's no open funds available from government, none at the moment. So other players, like you mentioned, they would also be having a mix of funding, from financial institutions and also from private investors. So these are how you see some of the growth that is being driven in the real estate space. So it's either the money is coming from private investors or it's coming from the commercial banks. These are the two sources that are open to us. So the government is playing little or no part in terms of funding at the moment. So for Organ Landlord, as an organization, we are still at the level of the private investors because we need to tidy up a couple of other things that commercial banks are asking So that's for us. But for other players in the industry, I'm sure they also have a mix of commercial bank funding and private investors funding.
Okay, Mr. Philip, as we round up on this program, I want to ask you, how affordable are properties from ogalandlord.com? How affordable are your properties?
When we got into this space, you know, every business has their own target market. Okay, for Ghana, when we got into this space, we are specifically
All right, my viewers, today we are really having some serious network challenge. And I'm afraid we need
properties that are located
and get right back into it. Another Saturday, I'm bringing Mr. Tito. Trust me, Mr. Tito have a lot of things to discuss with us on this show, but the weather today is not helping with the network in Africa. So I'm going to have to cut Mr. Philip Tito here today and bring him another day as a guest on this show. Next week, Saturday, we'll be hosting an important guest on Focus Africa series from the city of Port Harcourt. And I promise you it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be one of the best interviews we've seen on this show since we started. Thank you so much for tuning in to Focus Africa series powered by Business Day Media. My name is Success Bright. Thank you for watching. See you next week by 12 noon.